Hey guys, and welcome back to the World War II Solitaire board game channel and the last video of Utmost Savagery, the Battle of Peleliu. We are now entering the fourth and last intensity, and we have to shuffle these and put them on the last spot of the intensity track and hope that we get something good. I think there is 12 of them, so that means I have 12 movements left. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I'm sorry to say, I don't think I'm going to be able to win, because that means I can only lose one battle. And with the mountains, you need to attack and retreat. You have to take the hit because they have an 8 in their combat value. And I'm also kind of far away. So now we're not going to forget the army arrival phase, as it starts the last one in the fourth space. But you know, we'll do our best. We activate Colonel Dark, and army arrival phase, you roll a d6 minus the amount of intensity chits you've drawn for this turn. If it's a 0 lower, the army arrives and you don't draw one of these. So we actually have 12 turns remaining. But you know, 2 minus 0 is a 2, so it's not going to happen. We draw an intensity. And it's naval support, which is of no use for us, since we... Oh, actually it is. Because we are adjacent with one of our armies. So we move in, and we can only bring 2 of these, because remember, there's a stacking limit of 2 in mountains and fortified areas. The Colonel does not count. The Colonel... I could bring a fire, and his combat value will be down to 4. Or I could bring a artillery marker, a barrage marker, and hope for a roll of 6, because that would give me an additional morale. But right now I don't feel like morale is my problem, but rather running out of the intensity chits. So I'll bring a fire. My combat value is 8. Note that these army battalions have a combat value of 4 compared to the combat value of 5 of the marine battalions. So it's a little bit lower, but it's still higher than the night ambush, which turns into 4 with the fire. I get 1 additional die because of the barrage. I get to roll 4 dice. I need to roll 5 or higher not to take additional damage. And I roll 6. That's a lucky roll. I gain 1 morale, and the night ambush goes away. Let's mark it up in the fortified stack. We have 1 sniper's nest remaining, actually 2 sniper nests and 1 coordinated fire. So we can understand now that this is a sniper's nest, this is a sniper's nest, and this is a coordinated fire. Okay, that's gonna be the end of this here turn, or the combat at least. We have our reposition, so we're definitely gonna reposition now. We need to get closer to the mountain. This commander moves into this box. This army battalion goes down here. These guys go together down here. And these guys go together down here. I have to be careful about activating now, because I'm going to need all of these chits here. That's a bigger problem than running out of morale right now. And you have consolidate, but I have nothing to consolidate. And then we have burnout, so we add a fire down here to this here jungle. And that's going to be the end of this turn. So it goes to the moon side. And let's see what I want to do. This was gonna be a sniper, right? I want to remember. A sniper and a coordinated fire. And we can also see his combat value here. So his combat value is gonna be a 5 or a 6. So if it's a 6, it's gonna be really hard to win. If it's a sniper, it's also gonna be pretty hard, but not that hard. So the question is what we should do. Well, we'll activate Colonel Harris. Or actually, we go with Colonel Dark because their combat value is 7 and his combat value is 8. So they have a higher chance of taking this guy out here. So we draw a time chit, or before we do that, we roll for the army arrival phase. So we need to roll a 1 now for that to happen. And we roll a 1. So what happens now is that Colonel Venable arrives to the scene, and he should go to this beach, as I don't want to do the army bloody beach impulse. And now I don't draw one of those time chits. One bad thing now is the only way I can win if I move into that position and bring a fire in. I could give this a chance because it could be a 6 or a 5. So I think that's more, it could be a 5 if I'm lucky. I lose 1 morale. I'm down to 11. It is a sniper's nest with a 5. A problem now is I have no commander, so it's a night ambush, and we're during the night, so we lose some additional morale. We're down to 10, but I still have a good chance of winning. My combat value is 8, so it, you know, I can, if I roll a 6 now, win without losing morale. If it's a 5, I take a hit and lose 1 morale. If it's a 4 or lower, I lose the battle. Okay, 6, come on. A 5. Okay, so a 5 means I take 1 hit. I lose 1 morale because of it, but at least the sniper nest is removed, and you know, I won the battle, and I basically need to win every battle that I can now. Okay, next up is gonna be this guy. We take a time chit now as all of the armies have arrived, and it's support, which again is a little bit stupid of me because of how I place these troops out. They can't receive any support because they're already they're maxly stacked. And one thing here is, I don't think I mentioned it before, but you have the right to actually take 2 support markers. So you know, if I would have been placed out like this, I could have taken 1 here and 1 here. So effectively, I'm losing 2 support markers, but you know, I still have a pioneer here, so it's not a big thing, but it's still unfortunate. I'm gonna go ahead and attack the mountain, but the mountain areas, you know, they're all 7 and 8s, so I have to think that I'm gonna lose at least 1. So I'll attack with the Colonel and the Pioneer. We lose 1 morale. We bring in 2 fires and reveal it. It's a coordinated fire, so I have to take 1 hit. So this here is destroyed, and I lose 1 morale. I then lose the battle because, or actually I could possibly win, but it's very unlikely because the fires bring him down to 6. My combat value is 3, so I only get, since it's lower than the Japanese, I only get 1 die. I have to roll a 6 to be able to win, but it's still gonna be a bloody win. We'll try. It's a 5. Very unfortunate. So I lose the Pioneer, and I take 1 hit to morale, and I have to retreat. Okay, so the fire remains actually, so I'm gonna go ahead and activate Colonel Puller. Or maybe I should activate this guy instead. Okay, I activate this guy in... No, he can't reach, so I will not. I'll activate Colonel Puller. Draw a time chit, and it's a naval support. So I put that barrage down here, and I move in with these guys. So I get to put an additional fire with the Colonel. And his combat value is now gonna be 5. and I get to roll 1 additional die because of the barrage. So let's hope I can get a 6 now. Would be very helpful. I get 4, 4, and 3, and 3. That's very unfortunate because his combat value is 5 with the fire markers. So again, I lose the battle. I have to take a hit, which also forces me to take a hit to morale, and they have the retreat. So that's painful because now since it's a mountain, it's also gonna disappear, the fire. So I could activate this battalion here, but I don't see any reasoning to do that because they can't reach down here, and the combat value here is 7, so I'm still not going to be able to win. Even if I put 1 fire, it's going to be too little. Well, I have to do it and hope I get some really good support. So I activate Colonel Harris, and I get supplies. I roll 2 d6s. The highest one is 5. We spend 1, 2, 3 points to increase, and then 1 point to increase this, and 1 point to increase this. Okay, and then we go ahead and attack. We put a fire marker on here. We have to roll a 6 to be able to take him down. Our combat value is 10. His combat value is 6. 7 minus 1 fire. So we still get to roll 3 dice, but we have to roll a 6 or higher. We can't roll higher, obviously. So only a 6 is a victory, and we roll a 5, a 1, and a 3. So I'm getting desperate now. We lose 1 morale and take a hit. And the only one remaining is this guy, but I don't want to activate him because he's too far away. So we now go to the reposition segment. So he moves, see, this guy moves down, up here. And actually it's adjacent, he moves down here, I guess. This guy moves here, and these guys down, and together with him down here. And these guys remain. This guy moves together with his colonel. Maybe down here, up here actually, so they're not adjacent. And these guys stay in the jungle. And then unfortunately we have to remove all of the fires. And that's what really hurts, because now his combat value is back to 8. So all of them are turned to the side except this guy, so we do it for him. And then we add a fire down here in the jungle, and we go into the sun side. So we lose another morale. We're down to 6 morale now. So oof, we are running out of morale. We're gonna go ahead and activate Colonel Puller, draw a time chit, and it's a course air. That's actually just what we need because we get some fire up here. And let's see what we want to do here. We could attempt to attack. There's not much more we can do. We have to push it. We put a fire marker on it. So the only way we can succeed now again is with a roll of 6. So his combat value is 8. Minus 2, that's 6. Our combat value is 10, so we still get to roll 3 dice. Come on, please. 6, 6, 6. 1, 1, and a 3. So we take 1 hit. Morale is down to 5. We have the retreat. Next up is the colonel here. He will activate, draw a time chit, naval support. We put a barrage marker up here, and then we move in. We leave 1 guy behind because we can only bring 2 plus commander. And the colonel put some fire in there. We have a combat value of 8 minus 5 because of the fires. So we get to roll 3 dice plus 1 because of the barrage. We need to roll 6 to not take any additional hits, or 5 for a bloody victory. And we roll a 5, so we have a bloody victory. Finally, we kill our first mountain soldier. But we have to take 1 hit, so we are down to 4 morale. So that's a mountain, a coordinated fire with a combat value of 8. So there is 2 8 remaining and 3 7s. Let's remove these to clear the board up a little bit. And there's not much more we can do here. There's no reason to activate Colonel Puller. Or actually, he's the one that's activated. We could attack here, which we will, so we will activate Colonel Harris. And the time sheet is a supply. Roll 2d6. Roll a 6. So 1, 2, 3. We heal this, and we heal this, and then we heal this with the 3 remaining points. We attack. We put another fire marker on it. It has now a combat value of 5 minus my 10, so we get to roll 3 dice. We need to roll a 6 not to take any additional hits. And roll a 1, a 4, and a 2. So we actually don't even beat him. Take another hit. We have to retreat, and we'll lose 1 morale. Oh, okay, this is lost. I'm not going to be able to win. So I feel very disappointed. But it is what it is. I'm not going to activate these 2 at all. So we just skip it. And it then goes to the moon side. I get to move my units. And I'm now very sad because of not having any pioneers left. I really need my pioneers. So for movement, these guys move here. These guys move down here. And these guys remain up here. And these guys go down here. Okay, so it's the next turn. And we're on the moon side now. Colonel Harris activates. And he draws another supply. Roll 2d6, and we get a 2 and a 1. So we go ahead and add 2 morale. And he attacks. He puts a fire marker up. We have a combat value of 7 with our reduced battalion and full battalion. His combat value is going to be 4 now because of the 3 fires. So we need to roll 4 or higher. Roll a 5, so finally that fanatic defense is destroyed, and we don't have to take any hit. We don't gain any morale. Down here we go ahead and enter with the Colonel down here, Colonel Dark, and we have support, so he will get 2 supports. I'm going to bring in 2 pioneers. And we will attack with the Colonel and with 2 of the pioneers. So we effectively will put 3 fire markers into that area. Decrease our morale by 1. It's a fanatic defense, so that means all of the fires go away. But at least we don't have to take any hit. The battle, you know, is with a 7 is never going to be able to win since they remove the fire. So we have to take 1 hit. We take the hit to the pioneers and lose 1 morale, and they retreat back here. And then we attack with Colonel Venable. Or should we? Yeah, that's basically the only one we can attack with. We draw. It's a Corsair. The Corsair puts a fire. And as we attack, the Colonel will himself also put 1 fire, so the combat value is down to 5 now, and our combat value is 8. So we get to roll 3 dice. We need to roll 5 or higher, and we roll a 4, 3, and 2. Wow, all of my luck is gone. I take 1 hit, and I lose 1 morale. I'm down to 5 morale, and we have to retreat. Okay, let's go with Colonel Puller this time. And it's only 1 time chit left after this. It's a coarse air, so we get to put another fire. We move in with Colonel Puller, and he puts a barrage marker on it. So it has a combat value of 4 now with the 3 fires, and we also get an additional die. And I think with 4 dice, I should be able to beat him. We need to roll 4 or higher. Roll a 5. So the Fanatic defense is gone. And we remove the fires. So the only one remaining now is Colonel here, but he doesn't have any support. So I'm just gonna go ahead and wait it out. So we just automatically flip him because we haven't used him. And we move these guys up here because I want to use those. And let's join with these guys, and they move down here, they move down here, they move down here. And we go to the sun side. And we lose 1 morale. We're down to 4. And I'm sorry to tell you that this is going to be the very last turn, because as we activate Colonel Dark, we also go ahead and draw the very last time chit, and it's a naval support. And we put an artillery marker here. We attack with the Colonel, 1 battalion and 1 pioneer. So we put 2 fire markers in there. We lose 1 morale as we reveal the marker, and it's a sniper's nest. So the sniper nest takes out the Colonel, and I lose 1 more morale. I'm down to 2. So his combat value is 8 minus 2, so that turns into a 6. My combat value is 6, so we have an equal amount of combat value. So you get to roll 2 dice, and we get an additional die because of the artillery marker. I need to roll 6 or higher, which I can't obviously, to take him out. Come on, 1 last time. Yeah, I take that bloody sniper out, but as I do, I also have to take 1 hit because it's a bloody victory, and my morale is down to 0, and the game is lost. So if the morale is ever down to 1, you immediately lose. If you spend the last intensity chit, it's actually lost in the end of the game in the victory or defeat segment. So I would, if I still had morale, I would still be able to battle with my remaining battalions, it seems. But morale is down. I meant if I still had time chits. Morale is down to 1, so we have lost. We still had 5 Japanese positions, so I think I'm not really sure how I should win. I'm not sure if anyone has actually won. The designer has won, but he said that he's landed in 3 different beaches in the beginning of the game. So he had 1 here, 1 here, and 1 down here somewhere. Yeah. 3 mountains positions remaining, 1 jungle, 1 fortified. I mean, we did a good job up here. See what we had left. We had a coordinated fire with a combat value of 7, sniper's nest with a combat value of 7, a fanatic defense with a value of 8, a jungle position, a fanatic defense with a combat value of 5, and lastly a fortified position sniper's nest of 6. So 2 sniper's nests, 2 fanatic defense, 1 coordinated fire. So, well, kind of close, but not enough. What do you guys think I should have done different? Should I have been more aggressive, more careful? Should I have used artillery? I never used any artillery support. I only brought in pioneers and armor. In the first round, I could have brought in 2 support, or maybe it was the second round, but I decided to only bring in 1, so maybe that was a little bit stupid. I could have gotten more pioneers, but again, I did lose on morale. I didn't lose on no more remaining time chits. So you know, that kind of indicates that I was too aggressive, but you know, obviously it was balanced because I would have lost on no time chits as this turn would have ended. Let me know what you think, guys. I'm very demoralized, just like my Marines. I am shaken. And you can see the photo on this counter is that old classical photo of that shaken Marine. Guys, thank you for watching. I hope you were rooting for me and not the Japanese. I will play this game again with the available expansion pack once I get it. So stay tuned. Maybe the K9 units, which are included in the expansion pack, will help me to seize victory on Peleliu Islands. Only one thing will tell, and that's watching the video. So stay tuned to the channel. Don't forget to subscribe. If you want to support the channel, you can become a member, or you can do a one-time donation, preferably through PayPal. You will find the information to all of this in the info on the video. You'll also find links to my Facebook page, to my community page, and to my awesome World War II solitaire board game list on Boardgame Geek. Again, guys, thank you for joining. I will see you next time.